What's up, guys? Happy Sunday, welcome. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing fantastic, ready to work on this Jade. Where is my wife? Is she coming today?
Coming in there. All right.
We got the juices, we got the wine.
Hello. Hello.
We got the wine, we got Mario, we got the tree. We're ready to rock and roll.
We're ready to rock
All
and roll.
right.
And I'm going to share this link on our Facebook page for those that are following over there. So everyone, please give me a second. And in the meantime, please, would love to hear where you guys are from. So comment below and let us know where you are tuning in from, even what time it is where you are, and good morning, good evening, or
Good afternoon.
thank you so much for being watching. And let's see.
And if you don't have a drink already, make sure to get yourself a drink because we're about to have a fun time. Not too much for me because otherwise the styling is going to come out a little questionable, but I'll try my best still.
All right, let me see here. Okay, so I think we are in. All right, then let me see. So I have Sam Hilton from Tennessee. Hey, Sam.
Hey, Sam.
And MJ said, "What you drinking?" From good old New York.
Very good question. This is a vintage Moscato. I don't know about the vintage part, but it is a Moscato. She loves sweet wine.
Yeah.
Everything sweet, so it's really good.
All right, MJ, so he's from New York. Awesome. And Ando says, "Hello, the Bonsai Supply from Trinidad." That's amazing. Marco is from Chicago. Hi from Chicago. That is amazing. We actually were in Chicago last weekend.
Yeah.
We had so much fun. Such a beautiful place. Tiffany say hi from Colorado, and it's 5, but she didn't specify if it is AM or PM.
I'm sure it's PM because she's in the same continent.
But all right.
Well, unless she's in Colorado, China.
All right. So MJ says I style bonsai best with beer.
Yeah, my man. I do too. That's a good one. But usually beer makes me sleepy.
I think it starts well and then
It goes downhill. Yes, that's very true.
pretty quickly. And Anil says hi from Trinidad. Now we have another friend from Trinidad. This is amazing. Rob, happy trees from Connecticut. Wow, we have a very diverse audience today. Rafa says hi from Mexico. Where you guys coming? Oh, we're in Mexico. It's funny that you mentioned because we love Mexico and we have one of our best friends lives there, and well, 2 of our best friends, and one of them is getting married next year, so we're definitely going to Mexico next year.
Yes.
Anil, how old is that Jade?
It's a good question. This Jade is about, I would say about 8 to 10 years old. And yeah, it was entirely grown in Florida for all this time.
All right.
It is actually quite a big tree, by the way. I don't know if you can see that, but
Yeah.
it's quite big.
Super nice. So, for those that are just tuning in for the first time, the way that we do this is Jerome is going to be working in this tree. We have different trees every month. We do this once a month. And you guys can ask questions about what he's doing at the moment or general questions. And I'm going to be reading them to him while he works on the tree. After this tree is finished, you guys have to give me like 10-15 minutes. And I'll put it on our website, thebonsaisupply.com, and it's gonna go for an auction. And listen to this because today we're gonna go a little different. This auction is gonna be only for 24 hours.
Whew,
So this one is gonna be a quick one. And yeah, so that's something different that we haven't done before. So it's gonna be a really quick one. So make sure you participate if you would like to win this tree. And just really quickly to remember that the auction is only for US participants at this time. We can ship trees internationally. But yeah, so we're excited for also the audience that we have internationally here. And I wanted to give, and I think that's a bag of soil over there. Let's see. All right, yes. So we actually usually do this the third Sunday of the month. But in this one, since we actually had that Chicago trip in the way, we had to move it a week. A week. So we're gonna do a little extra for that extra weight, and it's that whoever gets this tree is also gonna go with a bag of soil. So you're gonna have the tree ready to be repotted to use our soil with it.
Awesome.
Yeah. We just put the soil from your face.
No, that's perfect because whoever gets this tree, you can still repot it right now and you'll still be perfectly fine, which is actually what I recommend, that you repot it into a different size. Obviously it can go right into a bonsai pot. This pot itself here is completely filled with roots and it is a little small for this size tree. I think I will go at least with a 10-inch pot, which puts you right around here, and I think that will be a good size for this tree.
Yeah. All right, let me just say a few more hellos before you start. So we have a hi from Germany.
Oh,
Awesome.
guten Abend.
Oh yeah.
But it's already like 1 a.m. in Germany right now, well, depending where you are, so thank you for joining us.
All right, and hi guys from Austin, Texas. That is also Michael. And beautiful tree. Hey from OKC. Thanks for the session yesterday. So Michael.
Hey, Michael. I'm glad you were able to join us.
And all right, greetings from Wisconsin.
Ooh, this one is sweet.
Washington, another great friend from Wisconsin, Denver, all right, in South Florida, awesome. Our people from Florida we always love. So, and your show hand mix is awesome. Thank you, MJ.
Thank
We
you.
really love our show hand mix. It's so, I truly love it. I'm so proud of the product.
It makes it so much easier to pot
Yeah.
smaller trees.
Yeah, it's definitely, you have a smaller trees, is so nice at show hand mix. You gotta check it out. And then I think you are good to start with. Like, what are we doing here? What are you thinking?
Okay, so first of all, this is a Portulacaria afra, or a dwarf jade. People in the bonsai community get really upset when we say jade, even though we all know that we're talking about the dwarf jade. So I want to put that out there, that we are professionals here today, and that we know that a jade is a dwarf jade, and a dwarf jade is a jade. Even though the jade is referred to the crassula, which is not in the same family, but we all know what we're talking about. Just wanted to put it out there. Before you start to style a jade, because as you might know, they store a lot of water in the branches and out here in the leaves. So I do recommend that you stop the watering for probably a week to 2 weeks before you go ahead and style the tree or do any major trimmings, just to slow down the water movement, which will then also prevent any branch loss. So I just wanted to put that out there before we get started. This is quite an old tree and it has a really nice root flare down at the bottom here.
So right off the bat, right? What do you guys think Jerome should go for?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. Yeah, I mean, I guess the easiest, or I guess the most straightforward style.
Don't say it.
Okay.
Let's see what you guys think.
I'll drink some wine.
Jerome will get drunk in the meantime. Let's see. So what do you guys think? Which style Jerome should go for?
So while we wait for you guys to comment on the styles, I wanted to mention that, not sure if you guys know, but they do actually flower. And the flower is kind of like a pinkish, light purplish color. However, they do not really flower in a humid climate. They only flower in drier climate, such as Arizona and such. So they do actually flower.
We do know of one of our friends that lives in Texas has a friend that which Jade is blooming beautifully, and it's in Texas. So if you guys in Texas, you also my flower, your Jade my flower.
Well, actually, funny part about the flowering is that the first time we saw a jade flower, a dwarf jade, was actually in Canada at the botanical garden in the middle of the winter. It was December, and in the botanical garden they had one in the ground, and it was completely covered in flowers. And that was right before Mari got us kicked out for filming.
Oh, I got
Yes.
kicked out.
Well, Nigel was.
Nigel, are you there? Nigel is not here today, but I'm sure he will be on my team.
Well, Nigel was part of us getting kicked out. Nigel and Mari, can't take them anywhere.
All right, so I'm gonna read to you some of the.
All right, fire away. I can't wait to see.
So, slanted style potential.
Okay.
Up and out broom style.
I like that too.
Formal upright, informal upright, semi-cascade,
Okay. Wow. Okay.
and that's so pretty much nobody have sent the same style yet. Everybody has a different one. So I guess this tree has a lot of potential in different styles. Yeah, I mean that's the options I'm seeing here. So what are you thinking?
I mean, I was thinking a combination of the first. I think it was the first 3 comments of like a informal, formal, upright broom style. Kind of like, you know, not really putting the finger on one of those styles, but kind of combining them. Because when you look at the trunk from this side, it is leaning a little bit, but it is fairly straight. And I do think like an upward flowing, fairly natural broom style type of tree, I think that would look really cool. So that's what I naturally looked at. Obviously you could do the semi-cascade too, but then I feel like we would have to cut off a lot of the top here, and also change the angle, and then we would lose a lot of top growth here. Not a bad idea, you can definitely do that. The branches have a lot of movement and they're already fairly thick, so I would probably not do that as my first choice. So
Alright, and just a quick question. Can you do a raft with that?
yeah, actually I was talking to that to Michael yesterday, who's also here in the chat. He's actually creating a raft style, and that's something that also came to mind with this tree, because as you can see, most of the growth is very one-sided, right, on this tree, and this side is kind of like, well, sparse. There's no other way to put it. So you could technically lay it down into the soil and make this a raft style. You could absolutely do that. This has also crossed my mind. Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Alright, so let's get to it.
Okay. I also want to mention, in order to thicken up branches on a dwarf jade, the easiest way to do that, first of all, they like a lot of fertilizer. So you can apply about 3 times the normal amount that you would on any other tree. So if you use our all-purpose fertilizer, use times 3 the application. They like a lot of nitrogen. They also like a lot of water, especially when they grow. And when the branches grow out like this and they start to fall down like that, that's when the tree starts to thicken up. Because when you let these branches grow out and they start to hang like that, that adds a lot of weight to the tree, and the tree needs to automatically thicken up in order to support all of this growth. So, having said all that, what should I use? My regular bonsai scissors or Etsy bonsai scissors? I use them both. Whichever? Okay. Alright, let's get to work. So, the first thing that I do is I clean up the inside growth, so everything that grows on the inside and everything that doesn't fit.
Hey, it's me, Anthony. I'm South Florida on my wife's computer.
I'm glad you finally made it, Anthony.
It says Katie. Oh, I know, Kathy. Yeah, I know Anthony always had trouble with connecting. Huh?
He always
Glad
reaches
you're here.
out to us after the auction. He's like, hey, I tried to make it.
Oh, that's awesome you're here, Anthony. How about a windswept? I haven't seen any Jade in windswept style.
You could absolutely do a windswept. That's actually something that she told me at the beginning. She was like,
I love Jade's windswept. In fact, it's funny because we have a video here on YouTube of a Jade that we also did for an auction like a year ago, and we went for that. We went for the windswept. So if you're curious to know how it looks, I will definitely recommend you to go to our website, thebonsaiSupply.com, and see our YouTube options. And you'll see that's one of our first trees that we ever did. It looked pretty cool. And over there you also see like the link to the YouTube channel, the YouTube video that we did with that tree. That was styled as a windswept. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I like it very much.
I like windswept in general. They're just kind of hard to keep up the maintenance.
Yeah. Same with whipping.
Weeping, yeah. Weeping and cascade, weeping and windswept, I think, are the two most difficult styles to upkeep.
Yeah. Even if you choose the cascade style, you can root the part. It will make a beautiful tree.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're right about that. You can definitely. So, jades are the easiest. Door jades are the easiest trees to propagate. You just take a cutting and you stick it in soil and it'll start to grow. So if you went ahead with a cascade, you can absolutely root the rest, and you have two trees.
Okay, and I love this comment because I know this was coming. They're saying, what? No defoliation?
So I've gotten this quite a lot lately, that people are like, oh my god, Jerome, you defoliate all the time. I do. I love defoliating, right? But I only defoliate each tree once a year, really. And that's usually in the summertime. Deciduous trees, they like to be defoliated in the summer dormancy because it not just only improves the branching and restores the vigor, but it also helps with better fall color. Just saying, putting that out there. So yeah, when I usually work on trees, I like to defoliate just because it helps me see the entire tree. This jade, however, I don't really defoliate jades that much. And since it's kind of sparse a little bit, it's not really necessary, but yeah.
Yeah, so the jades are naturally with small leaves, and then you can see the canopy with it too. So yeah. One time we did defoliate the big jade that Jerome has.
Yep.
And that was like a 2 hours job. Oh my god.
It was a lot more than that. It was a lot.
It was a lot. I think that was the first and last time we ever defoliated.
Yeah, I mean, my big jade that I have, I only defoliated it once. Jade is really one of those trees that you really don't have to defoliate. Like, because they respond so well to just trimming them back hard.
Yep, that is true. Let's see what I have here. Being jades so tender, how do you wire without cutting branches?
You mean without breaking branches, I assume, right?
Without cutting branches.
How do I wire them? Okay.
I guess.
So what I do is I like to let them dry out for about a week to two before I actually start to style the tree. But here's another little tip on trees that have brittle branches like this one, for instance. When you place the wire, like the branch, if you give it a slight twist as you place the branches, that also stops the branches from breaking. So that's a really good tip, especially on deciduous trees and jades. Works wonders.
Yes, and have you guys ever tried scoring the trunk with a knife vertically to make the bark look more fissured bark?
Like fissured?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of that before. I've never tried it before. The thing is, and I think that's, I guess, more like a personal preference. Whenever you do anything to the trunk, like you create deadwood yourself or you scar the trunks or whatever, it always kind of looks man-made, I feel like. So that's why I don't do these types of techniques. But yeah, I guess what he's saying is you can take a carpet knife and just slice into the trunk and follow the trunk lines like that, and that will create like a fissure type of look. But yeah, I'm not too fond of that, to be honest.
And I have our friend David from Florida. Hello.
Hello.
I'm glad you made it. And Let's see, cutting, breaking. So Edward was saying breaking the branches. Okay, so I was thinking about defoliating next year. Being in New York, when is a good time to defoliate up here?
In any climate, tropical trees, you want to defoliate them in the middle of the summer. Really summertime when they actively grow, it's a great time to defoliate them, repot them, trim them, wire them, everything at the same time. Temperate trees like the citrus trees, also in July, like summer dormancy, but those you obviously do not repot at that time.
So can you guys start critique series where we can share our trees, see your point of view? It will help us to interact better. That is a super cool idea. I really like it. In fact, we're trying to do that already, but on TikTok. So YouTube, the platform, is not really too friendly to do that. However, TikTok, if you guys, any of you are on TikTok, you can make a video and tag us. Also on Instagram, but I would say TikTok is the one that we can respond the quickest and make a video reply of your video, and we can help you out. So you can make a video saying, I don't know, what do you think that I should go with this tree? What kind of style? Or my tree is sick, like how can I, bring the tree back? And tag us in the video and we'll help you out. So right now on TikTok, we can be found in Jerome's account, which is Jerome_bonsai. It's the same that he has on Instagram. But I would say TikTok right now is a great tool for you to do that, and we can reply to you with our thoughts about the tree that you are making the video of. Let's see. And MJ, thanks, of course. Is there any way to grow the tree faster? I just bought a Jade tree and I'm super excited to have a big tree already.
Yeah, so they respond extremely well to high nitrogen fertilizer. So if you use high nitrogen fertilizer and you water your tree a lot, like I water my jades if they're in a good bonsai soil every single day actually. So every morning when I come out, I give them a little splash of water, and that's when they start to really take off. And like I said at the beginning of this video, let your trees grow out, and once the foliage gets to a certain, extends to a certain length outside of your canopies, let's say out to here, and they start to either hang or they start to sway in the wind, your trunk naturally has to thicken up to support all of that extra weight. So the more you let it grow out, the faster your tree will start to thicken up.
Yeah.
Yes. Boop, boop, boop.
So David is saying they grow like weeds.
They sure do. Yeah, they sure do.
So Tiffany, you picked a great species because this is probably one of the fastest growing. So just be patient and fertilize, but these trees, they grow fast anyway.
Yeah,
so,
they really do.
Do not worry, you'll have a nice tree in no time.
Yeah, but the trick is really to get it into good bonsai soil right off the start, and then not repot it too fast again. Mm-hmm. So wait maybe 2 to 3 years, and then just let it thicken up.
Let's see. Hey guys, I got a Vitex at Lowe's. At Lowe's?
Alright,
I'll check it out now.
I think they're watching our YouTube videos.
For a great deal, I bet. Is it too late in the summer to do major pruning and repotting?
Repotting, it really depends on what kind of Vitex you have. Because if you have like the rotundifolia, which is a tropical or a semi-tropical.
It's a Agnes. Vitex Agnes.
I don't know that one, unfortunately. So hear me out. if you have a tropical or a semi-tropical one, you can still repot it now. If you're in a tropical climate and if you have a good overwintering plan, otherwise I would wait for the spring. So mine, the rotundifolia, has like rounded leaves, and those, I repot that tree in the summertime, and it really loves that. So.
And you can always do a sleep potting if you
Yeah,
are
absolutely.
not sure.
I'm glad you're here. Absolutely, you can do a slip potting.
Yeah. For those that might not know what a sleep potting means, it's just when you pot the tree without disturbing the root system. So you pretty much want to use a pot that is bigger than the one that you already have, and you kind of just transfer. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Let's see.
you nailed it.
Watering the tree every day, wouldn't that cause root rot, especially winter coming?
So so here's the basic rule of watering your bonsai tree. If it's growing, yes, water it a lot more than you think, because what we see a lot is that people just get their bonsais wet. You really want to water them well. And if they actively grow, like for instance this jade, as you can see, it was actively growing, water it every day, that will speed up the growing even more, because an actively growing jade needs more water to support all of this growth. And that's with all of your trees. If they don't actively grow, so once you go into the fall and they start to slow down on the growing, slow down on the watering as well. I hope that makes sense.
And we have hello from Australia. So we have
hello.
Australia in the house.
Straight in the house.
What is your guys' recommendation for repots? Do you water right away? Do you let it sit? Full sun, shade?
I'm assuming that question is strictly for jades. So jades, I like to wait about 2 weeks before I go ahead and actually repot, just to slow down the water movement. After a repot, I then wait another week. I put mine right out into full sun, but here's the thing to note: I am in Georgia now, where the sun is not as strong as if I was in Florida. So in Florida, I will probably leave it in the shade for a week and then water it for the first time and move it out. But up here in Georgia, it's not that hot, so I can put it right out in the full sun.
Yes. And my jade branches tend to drop when they elongate. What can I do to thicken and harden them?
They drop. You mean like they fall down like this, like they start to kind of slouch or weep, I'm assuming. What you can do is actually use some wire and just gently wrap it around the branches, and you can bring the branches back up that are slouching. But when they slouch down like that, it adds so much weight to the tree, and that will thicken up your tree even faster. So slouching is not necessarily a bad thing.
Oh, and by the way, it says, can you please show out my name? I'm a big fan of you guys. And I'm gonna apologize in advance because I'm not sure if I'm gonna say your name right. But the thing is, I'm gonna give it a try. You have to give it a try too. Rifayet Ahmed. How are you?
Rafayet Ahmed?
So you pretty much did send it me.
No, but you said Ahmed. I said Ahmed. That's the difference.
Anyway, thank you so much for being with us today.
Sorry for
So
butchering
I guess
it.
we both said Rifayet. That's not the
Yeah, that's what I would
We
say.
hope we said it right, somehow right, and otherwise I'm so sorry, because I have a very complicated name and I hate when people say it wrong, but at the same time I know it's complicated. So for those that don't know, my name is no Mari, even though that's my nickname.
Here it comes.
And I love it. You can call me Marty all the time. But my name is Mariangeli. Yes. Anyway, let's continue. What would you do with the root ball if decided to make a Raft Style jade?
So if you have the root ball like this and you lay it down and the root ball here is kind of sticking out, you can just take a chopstick and work it down. The roots are kind of flexible, and then I would just kind of lay them down like that. But if it was a different tree that had like a nicer base, for instance, like a nice root spread, I would totally show that root spread. So it actually shows like that the tree fell over and you know the back came out of the ground. I think that's very cool.
Let's see. Oh well, he said good enough. Well tried. So of course we didn't nail it.
Sorry about that.
Let's see. Hi Bonsai Supply. I've read the roots for dwarf jade are very delicate. How do you develop a good nebari for this species without damaging roots?
So what I do with dwarf jades, the first time that I repot them, let's say this is a pre-bonsai, right? Well, we don't have to say, let's say this is a pre-bonsai. And I want to create a really cool root spread. So what I do is the very first time I repot a jade, I really work the root ball. So I remove the center section, I spread out the roots, right? I get it, jades like to be in deeper containers, right? So this is probably a little bit too deep, I will cut it in half. But then going forward, I will not reduce the root ball as much anymore. I will just kind of reduce the sides and the bottom slightly, and then repot it back into the same pot or up pot it, especially if you want to get it bigger. Up pot it each year and touch the root ball as little as possible, and that will really help to develop a really nice root spread. Oops. And you know, one of the things that I tell everybody all the time, things like a nice root spread or like small leaves or something like that, you really can't rush. The answer is really time, right? Letting your tree thicken up by letting it grow out, elongate, trimming it back, letting it grow out again, that thickens up everything. So actually, in my collection, Mari always tells me, oh, I think it's time you go ahead and trim your trees. Because I let them grow out so far that she tells me when to cut them back. If she wouldn't, I would have let them grow out even more.
Yeah, I kind of always want to see them pretty, but I understand the process. I love you guys' accents. Where are you guys from?
You go first. Ladies first.
So, thank you so much. I love my accent. Now, Jerome, he thinks he doesn't have an accent because, so, I'm glad that you bring this up. So, I'm from Venezuela
And I am from Switzerland. Now let me tell you a little story, okay? I've been here for 13 years now, and I spent most of my time in Florida. Nobody ever asked me where I was from, so I thought I lost my accent. As soon as we moved up to Georgia, every single person I meet, at the grocery store, at Home Depot, wherever I go, they always say, oh my God, where are you from? You have such a thick accent. So now I got a little self-conscious about that.
Let's see. What's up, guys? Love the channel. Bought bundles of your soil. Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just got my hands on a bonsai press. Can I withstand the winter in New York, being outside? And how much water does it need in winter?
So that's a very good question. I actually don't water. I really don't water my trees in the winter time in Georgia because it does rain at least once a week here. So I don't really have to water them. I would still check the watering at least once a week just to make sure. The ideal temperature for a bonsai tree that's a temperate bonsai tree over the winter time is right around 26 to 28 degrees Fahrenheit. So and that's really the ideal temperature so that you don't get any branch loss, etc., etc. So what I do here in Georgia, I cover my pots with mulch or pine straw. I set the tree on the ground. No wind gets to it. That's probably the most important, that you have no wind touching your tree. Set it on the ground, cover it with hay, and then you can let your trees go down to about 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And that works quite well.
Let's see. Michael says, I'm late to the party.
No,
No,
you're right on
not.
time.
Hey, we're just
You're
too
right
early.
on time.
Welcome. And Jade lovers, also check out Little Jade Bonsai channel. David, that's a great suggestion, and we definitely want to give a shout out to Little Jade Bonsai. He's a great friend from Texas, and all he does is jades, and his work is so amazing, and he's so creative. So definitely check his channel out, his Instagram. He's great.
And besides all that, he's just a wonderful, wonderful person.
Yeah, we really like him. He's great. And David said that was a great coffee talk you guys had with him. Yeah, we had so much fun with him. And do you have any new coffee chats planned soon? Yeah, we actually have one coming soon with Jennifer Price. So I don't know if you guys, well, you should, like, if you don't know about Jennifer, you should know now. You should Google her now or something like that, because she's great, and
It's amazing.
she's an amazing woman representing in bonsai. And yeah, we had a chat with her, and we're working on releasing that soon. And let's see. But yeah, David, let us know if you want to see somebody specifically that we haven't interviewed yet, and we'll try to make it happen. And oh, Michael, ready for the party. Let's see. All right, so I think I've covered most of the questions, or all the questions at the time. So the pressure is on Jerome. What are you thinking on this?
I'm just trying to bring this top over a little bit, but I think we're getting there.
It's looking nice. Looking nice. I see all the patches.
Yeah.
And is it too late to foliage? I guess the foliage maybe? A tiger bark ficus in Florida.
No, you're fine. So I've gotten these questions really a lot today on our weekly Instagram, ask bonsai questions and you get our answers. If you don't know what I'm talking about, every Sunday we post on our Instagram story where you can ask us bonsai questions and we'll respond. Now I've gotten this question all day today, like, oh Jerome, is it too late to defoliate my tree, this and that? Really depends on your climate as well as your overwintering plans, right? So if you have a greenhouse, for instance, for your tropical trees, and even if you live in a colder climate, but you go right from this climate into the greenhouse, you can absolutely still defoliate. But if your fall, like let's say you're already in fall, or everything starts to slow down, then you don't necessarily want to go ahead and defoliate this time of the year. And just wait until next year.
Oh, and I'm loving this because Nigel is now in the chat.
All right, Nigel.
Hi, Nigel. We're actually talking about you, Nigel, because Jerome is saying that thanks to me, we got kicked out that time in Canada of the botanical garden. Was it botanical garden?
I think it was a botanical garden thing.
So was that because of me? So,
I remember that very vividly.
So we want to know, was it because of me or because of Jerome?
Or because of you.
Or because of you. Let's say some love for Nigel. I love this. Jerome makes wiring look easy.
I do it a lot.
True.
A lot of practice.
Then we have, where can I get your soil in Canada?
Oh, Mari,
Love that
tell them,
question.
Mari, tell them.
So, we have the soil available in Canada now on Amazon.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! So you can get now on Amazon Canada our soil, prime, free shipping. So yeah, check it out on Amazon. We're now in Canada too, and I guess, if you're looking for a link, do we have a link somewhere?
I could get your link real quick if you let me sit there.
Yeah, I will say
it's actually very easy.
just-
If you go to Amazon.ca, You type in Bonsai Supply. I think we're one of the top, like we're in the first line. So, line or lane? Line. So you can find us like that. You can also just type in the Bonsai Supply, and that will also get you there.
But yeah, on Amazon. So.
Yeah, on Amazon.
Say Jade says, please interview Dave from Dave Bonsai on a coffee talk. Oh, check it. Do you know him?
don't.
Dave Bonsai.
It's not ringing a bell.
Jade, where can we see him? Like, is him on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook? Well, check it out. And let's see, Nigel, I should have gotten a video permit. My fault. So Nigel is taking the blame.
Thank you for taking the blame, Nigel.
So no, for those that are getting a little late to the story, we went to Canada, what, a couple years already? Maybe?
2019?
Yeah, a couple years already.
A couple years.
So, a couple years ago, we met with Nigel and we did our video. We interviewed Nigel and we just had so much fun in Canada. And we go to this botanical garden that we wanted to make a video inside, and we quickly were kicked out. So,
because of
it
Nigel.
was fun because of Nigel. No, Nigel, I wouldn't say that.
We also had a really fun squirrel encounter.
Yeah, so. And Sergio says, I'm sorry I didn't hear what you said about defoliating. Can I do it in the summer?
Yes. Why are you screaming? But yes.
Because I'm excited.
All right, just double checking. Yeah, everything can be defoliated in the summer. Temperate trees in the middle of July, and tropical trees as soon as the night temperatures are above 70.
Okay, and can the residue of the burned grass will help as a soil mix for bonsai? It's a while over there.
I'm just trying to process what I just heard.
Christian, that's too much of experimenting. No.
Burned grass? Did I hear that right?
Burnt grass. I wouldn't say no because it might. We just haven't tried that before.
Burned grass, alright.
But now that we know, let's see. I think Jerome should eat a petal like Nigel did.
No. No, I'm giving this thing chemical fertilizer, so I'm not gonna eat that. Alright, I think I'm done here today with my very first styling.
Nice.
So, let me put something in here. Well, actually, you can see it. This is my front of the tree. I do like it a lot, especially if you look at the outward line. We can make a very nice, almost like a deciduous kind of canopy here. But in the future, I would like it to be more kind of like an umbrella shape and wider at the bottom. So basically what you want to do with this one to fill it in now, put a lot of fertilizer. When it starts to grow, start to water it, and it'll start to fill in and push growth. And once you start to trim it back, all of these sparse sections will start to fill out. You can actually make this tree fill out before the end of the year still. That's how fast they respond. Because right now this tree is in growth mode, so continue that or repot it right now. So what are you thinking for pot?
For pot, well, you said it, just oval.
You think oval?
And like, I would even go larger if you can, like the size of the canopy.
I said minimum 10, not smaller, because this is like an A. So not, but minimum 10. I like the larger. What do you think? Glazed, unglazed? What do you guys think?
If you had to put a pot here, what would you use? Yeah. And I have a few other comments really quickly. Are you guys opening an in-person nursery in Georgia? Being from Tennessee, I will absolutely visit and buy trees. Oh, Brandon, I mean, that's a great idea in concept. But now we are focusing more in the online outlets. So we do have like warehouses in Texas and maybe in Georgia soon. but it's not gonna be like a nursery that you can go visit in. It's more like just
A fulfillment hub.
fulfillment place.
Yeah.
However, we're working in some other cool stuff. We might have some in-person classes, you know, maybe next year when things are even better, and even a bonsai retreat. So just stay tuned. We'll have some opportunities there. And let's see, Dave's from Minnesota. We have to check him out, Nigel. And remember the squirrel. Yes, how to forget. That was the best squirrel ever.
That was awesome.
So quickly here, if you try to thicken up the trunk, it's best to just let the port continue to grow wild.
Yes. Use the simple like way of thinking of how to thicken up a tree or a branch. Is kind of like thinking kind of it having like, if you want to have long hair, what do you need to do to get long hair? You need to let it grow out, right? The same concept applies to trees. You want a thick trunk, you want a larger tree, let it grow out. And actually, I let my trees grow out in the spring. So this is my tree, and this is what it is being overwintered at. In the spring, I let it grow out from here to about here. And then I usually trim the top back first to kind of keep finer branches in here, but the bottom branches, I still let them extend even further before I cut them back. Just once again, it's that simple method of the tree needs to get bigger to support all of that extra weight.
And I see a glazed blue pot as an option.
I like that.
That will be amazing.
Actually, something that I have discovered a couple years ago, my favorite dwarf jade combination is actually a yellow pot. I know it's out there, but if you have a jade at home, put a yellow pot in front of it and it'll be life-changing. Because you have a little bit of like that light yellow, light green on the inside of the jade leaf. So I think it matches absolutely phenomenally.
Alright, and I'm going to read this quickly so I can wrap it up. What NPK fertilizer are you using on your pots?
So I use our 18-4-10 fertilizer, our all-purpose fertilizer on all of my trees. Doesn't matter what species it is, but that's what I would definitely use for this.
Alright, and Jerome and Marty, how are you guys? Hey Jay, we're good. Thank you for coming in. And have you ever tried the leaves from the jade? I found it really nice.
Like
Yes, to
eating
eat it?
them? No, you know, I've never had the desire to. But I like to pump my trees with a lot of chemical fertilizers. So, you know, to really get them to grow. So, therefore, I don't want to eat the leaves because I use so much chemical fertilizer.
And yard visits, says Anthony. Yeah, I mean, we're always available for that. We can schedule ahead of time and try to make it work. Yes. Are you guys going to have any show-hand trees for auction? Yeah. I mean, we have had it before. Maybe we'll try that. And also, if you guys are following us on TikTok, very soon we're gonna start making videos where the trees are also gonna go for auction, and those are gonna be most likely in the smaller size. So you can also check that out. And Beth looks great, and she is saying maroon oval pot.
Okay.
That would be great.
Yeah, I mean, really every color goes with this well. I mean, you do have the red colors in the new growth, so I kind of like that actually.
Yeah.
I think nobody likes my yellow, huh? It's okay. Put a yellow pot in front of it and tell me what
you have to show them how the yellow one rocks.
Okay.
You know.
I don't have a yellow one with me right now, but you know what? Very soon I'm gonna rock a yellow pot.
Sure.
It looks hot.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take pictures of this tree and put it on our website, thebonsai.supply.com, and you can go on their YouTube auctions. So in about 10-15 minutes, it's gonna go live, and it's gonna go for 24 hours only. Okay, so make sure you participate either today or tomorrow before the time. It's just at night, and make sure that you're in the U.S. because it will be for U.S. participants only at this time for the tree, and we're gonna add a bag of bonsai soil as well. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna leave you for the goodbyes.
Yeah. So thank you guys again so much for spending, your better half of your Sunday evening with us. We wish you a great week, and we'll catch you guys soon.
Yeah, and let's see, everybody, some love, some more ideas for pots. Bye, Nigel. Thank you for being with us today, too.
Thank you,
Nice to see
Nigel,
the
for
little
clearing this up for us on whose fault it was. Alright, bye.